Bruce Lee, one name that still commands respect in martial arts. But how did he master the nunchaku, the deadly weapon he's famously known for? Was it raw talent, relentless training, or something more mysterious? Stick around, because the real story will surprise you. Setting the stage: Bruce Lee's early fascination with weapons. Before Bruce Lee became a global icon, he was just a young boy with a deep curiosity about martial arts. Growing up in Hong Kong, Bruce was surrounded by traditional Chinese martial arts, but what many people don't know is that his fascination with weapons started early. He wasn't just interested in hand-to-hand combat, he wanted to understand how different tools could enhance a fighter's abilities. As a kid, Bruce was drawn to swords, staffs, and anything that could be wielded with skill. He wasn't afraid to experiment, and he spent hours watching traditional martial artists practicing with weapons. His mind was always working, always asking, how can this be improved? This hunger for knowledge never left him. Even as he started training in Wing Chun, Bruce knew that mastering hand techniques was just part of the puzzle. He believed weapons could elevate his skills, not just in fighting, but in discipline and control. This early interest was a foundation for what was to come, eventually leading him to the Nunchaku. But back then, it was simply about exploring, learning, and becoming better at every aspect of martial arts. In Bruce Lee's mind, a true martial artist was not limited to their fists. The weapon was an extension of the body, an idea that would shape his future. The Nunchaku, a weapon of precision. The Nunchaku, two sticks connected by a chain or cord. At first glance, they seem simple, even basic, but in reality, they are a weapon of extreme precision. One wrong move, and the wielder can easily hurt themselves. In the hands of a true master, however, like Bruce Lee, they become an extension of the body. The key to mastering the Nunchaku isn't just about swinging them around. It's about control, timing, and understanding how the weapon moves. Every strike must be calculated, every spin deliberate. The Nunchaku require balance, both physically and mentally. You have to know exactly where each end of the weapon is at all times. Bruce Lee was able to make the Nunchaku look effortless, but that's far from the truth. It took hours of practice to reach that level of fluidity. The Nunchaku can attack and defend almost simultaneously, allowing for quick reactions, but only if the user can keep up with the speed of the weapon. It's this combination of precision and speed that made Bruce Lee's Nunchaku skills so legendary. He didn't just use them, he mastered them, and that's what made the difference. The influence of Dan Inosanto, the turning point. Bruce Lee didn't just stumble upon the Nunchaku by accident. One of the most significant influences in his journey with this weapon was Dan Inosanto. Dan was not just a friend. He was a highly skilled martial artist in his own right, particularly in Filipino martial arts. He introduced Bruce to various weapons, including the Nunchaku, and saw potential in Bruce to master it like few others could. Before this, Bruce had no real experience with the Nunchaku, but Dan believed that with Bruce's speed, precision, and adaptability, this weapon could be a game-changer for him. And he was right. Dan didn't just hand over the Nunchaku and walk away. He worked closely with Bruce, guiding him through the basics, teaching him the proper techniques, and helping him develop his own style. What started as a simple introduction soon turned into an obsession for Bruce. The way Bruce absorbed these lessons was incredible. He wasn't content with just learning how to use the Nunchaku. He wanted to make it a part of his identity as a martial artist. With Dan's guidance, Bruce pushed his boundaries and mastered the weapon in record time. Without Dan Inosanto, Bruce Lee's legendary Nunchaku skills might never have become what they are today. The training process. A journey of discipline. Bruce Lee wasn't born a master of the Nunchaku. It took intense training day in and day out to reach the level of skill we see on screen. When Bruce decided to learn the Nunchaku, he didn't approach it casually. He treated it with the same discipline and dedication he applied to everything else in his life. His training process wasn't just about repetition, it was about understanding the essence of the weapon. Bruce would spend hours practicing, refining each movement until it became second nature. His philosophy was simple. Mastery comes from doing the basics perfectly. So, he didn't rush into flashy moves. He focused on precision, control, and timing. For him, it was about making the Nunchaku an extension of his own body. Every swing, every block, every spin had to be perfect, or he'd do it again. But Bruce didn't just copy moves he saw from others.